Continuing, Mr. Robinson then asked you the question, well, let me ask you, did he ever talk about his children and how they felt about what had happened? You see that question? Towards the bottom of page 5?
Okay, I see it.
And you answered, well, he just said about...
Hearsay.
I think it's impeachment.
On the issue of children.
Can I see it? I don't know what the answer is. Counsel, come on up.
We make a record, Your Honor, of that objection.
Yeah, the objection is sustained.
You've testified here today about Mr. MacNeill allegedly talking to you about his wife and kids, correct? Yes. And did Mr. MacNeill tell you that his wife wanted to take the kids away from him as well as the house?
Yes, he did, if they went through a divorce.
And did he tell you that he figured that if he killed her, that he would live happily ever after and that it would be like a fairy tale relationship?
I mean, basically, that's what he was alluding to.
And that's what you told investigators?
Yes.
And then over on page 6, again asking about, did he ever say that it would be hard for anybody to find out how his wife died or how he killed? Do you recall being asked that question?
Yes.
And you answered, he said it would be hard to prove because they could say that she took all of that medicine because of the pain from having the plastic surgery, and she just kind of fixed her up a relaxing bath and, just accidentally nodded off in the tub.
Yes.
That's what you said, right?
Yes.
you turn over to page 7. And do you see the Investigator Robinson asked you there at the top of the page, did you ever notice him walking with a limp in prison at all?
Yes.
And you answered with a limp questioning?
Mm-hmm.
And then you said, I mean, he had a slow walk to him, but I can't remember if it was a limp or not.
Yes.
All right. That's what you said, right?
Yes.
And then you go on, I know he kind of like the morning that I saw him, he looked bad and he was kind of slow that morning, but we always walked real slow. It was never speedy walking type. That's what you said, right?
Yes.
And if you turn over to page 8, and down towards the bottom, Mr. Robinson asked you, okay, and you're feeling that coming forward right now, tell me why you think that it's important to you. You see that?
Okay.
And then you answered, to me, I don't want it to happen to his girlfriend, because if he did it once, he'll do it again.
Yes.
That's what you said, right? And so in this interview, you didn't mention anything about having any purpose that would benefit you in relation to your discussions, right? And you weren't planning anything that would benefit you?
No.
And you're still not planning anything that would
I
benefit
mean, I thought about it. Like I said in the beginning, it was an idea. Everybody thinks about that. Somebody in my situation would. But if it worked out, fine. If it didn't, fine.
So besides thinking about it, you didn't do anything else to pursue any benefit?
No.
If you turn over to page 10, maybe you have to look at the bottom of page 9 first, I'm sorry. Mr. Robinson asked you a question, all righty, if you think of anything else you feel like is important that I need to know. Do you see that question, bottom of page 9?
Okay.
And then you answered, not right off, like I say, everything is kind of cloudy. You see that?
You said at the bottom of page 10?
No, I'm sorry, bottom of page 9, and then your answer is on page 10.
Okay. I see the answer at the top, yes.
Okay.
It says, like I say, everything is kind of cloudy, but there is more after that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you go on and say, like I say, everything is kind of cloudy. I listened to him, I talked to him, but when it came to that, I did not ask too many questions about it. That's what you said, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then Mr. Robinson asked the question, let me just see if I just heard what you said. Did he tell you he gave her 4 OxyContin? So
Yes.
maybe I should go back and finish that first paragraph.
Mm-hmm.
And so back to, like I say, everything is cloudy. I listened to him, I talked to him, but when it came to that, I did not ask too many questions about it.
Mm-hmm.
I just listened to him, and it was like he would say, I gave her 4 OxyContin, and I would say, and that didn't do the job, Doc? It was like that. I did not ask too many questions.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you said, right?
Yes.
And then Mr. Robinson asked you, let me just see if I just heard what you said. Did he tell you he gave her 4 OxyContin? See that question?
Yes.
And you answer, I mean, he'd say he loaded her up. He was giving her a bunch of them. That's what you said, right?
Yes.
And you go on, I mean, he said he was giving her a bunch of OxyContin, and I was like, dang, because he knew, like I said, that I had taken OxyContin to give her some sleeping pills or Xanax. That's what you said, right?
Mm-hmm.
And down a little bit towards the bottom of the page. Mr. Robinson asked you, anything else that you can think of? Do you think that's it? And you again say, I mean, it's kind of foggy, right?
Yes.
Do you have phone, access to the phone in federal prison?
Yes.
And you have a phone that's available for you to place calls out on,
Yes.
right? And sometimes you also have the ability to make phone calls in your counselor's office or
Yes.
something like that. And the phone calls that you would make just on the regular lines are recorded.
Yes.
Phone calls that would be made in like your counselor's office wouldn't be recorded?
No.
Okay. You also have the ability to get emails?
Yes.
And you've sent and received emails like we talked about in that
Yes.
first email, right?
Yes.
You may. Counsel, would you approach? Brief recess, ladies and gentlemen. Remember my admonition. It's your duty not to discuss any subject of the trial with each other or with anyone else. Don't form or express any opinion until the case is submitted to you. Do no research on your own. Avoid media coverage. Court's in recess.